Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I'm no longer in Vegas. I'm back home in front of the whiteboard. Today's video is to help find out which hotel is better, Bally's or Bellagio. Those are the two properties I stayed at on my most recent trip. So I wanted to give you the insights of which one might be better for your future stays on the Las Vegas Strip. Stick around, there might be a few twists and turns along the way in this video. Alright, to solve the mystery of which of the two casinos, Bally's or Bellagio, is better, we're going to use these 10 factors. Number one to me is location. Number two, Wi-Fi. You gotta have Wi-Fi for all the uploading everyone does to social media and sharing your fun times with family and friends. Your room is very important. The vibe of the property itself. Drinks, casino, food options, features of the hotel casino. I'm going to include pool there. Check in and out. How's that? You know, it's important checking in, checking out. Is it timely or not? And then just the service that you received at the property while you were there. All these 10 factors combined create your experience, and you want any trip to Vegas to be a positive experience. So let's get into these 10 factors to help determine whether Bally's or Bellagio is a better property. So which of these hotel casinos has the best location? To help show this, I drew this map. It's not to scale, but the best I could do. Bally's is on the east side of the strip. Bellagio is on the west side of the strip. In general, the east side of the strip is a little easier to navigate, especially in the heat of the summer. A lot of these hotels here are kind of closer together, and you can kind of walk in them, stay out of the heat. Bally's being on this corner, you have immediate access to cross Las Vegas Boulevard, and you have immediate access to cross Flamingo Road, which that really helps out Bally's. So from Bally's, I noticed when I was at Caesars, I could get from Bally's to Caesars in about 15 minutes. And I was pretty impressed with that. From Bellagio to Caesars is roughly about 15 minutes as well. Another thing in going for Bally's is that there's a CVS right here. There's a CVS right outside of Bally's. So you can get to a store and stock up on some supplies, food, snacks, anything you really need, right there. And then another thing that's closer to Bally's is the Link Promenade back here where the high roller's at. So all along here in between Link and Flamingo are just tons of restaurants, bars, shops. So that's closer to Bally's as well. To give you a little bit of perspective, here from Bellagio to New York, New York, I had dinner reservations at New York, New York, and I made them around noon that day. So I wanted to see how long it would take to get back to New York, New York for my dinner reservations. So when I left New York, New York, I timed it, and it was a 30-minute walk from New York, New York to Bellagio. So I knew I needed, give myself that much time later on that evening. Aria is really pretty close to Bellagio, and they do have a tram that goes in between. But if you're walking from Bellagio to Aria, it's about 15-minute walk. This west side of the strip, just the properties are bigger. So there's a lot of walking in between here on this west side of the strip. The east side of the strip is just more, the casinos are more closely compacted, and it just makes for a better experience to walk on the east side of the strip. So while it might be controversial, I'm going to have to give Bally's the location nod. So you heard it here first. Bally's actually has a better location than Bellagio. Now to rank these, I figure I'm going to have to put some points to this. So Bally's, I'm going to have to give it a perfect 10 because of its location. It's just overall easier to access more places on the strip quicker from Bally's than even Bellagio. So Bally's gets 10, and I'm gonna have to give Bellagio 9, only because I believe the lake gets in your way. You know, you gotta go around that lake to go wherever you're going. So 10 to 9 is where we start off. Next up is Wi-Fi and room. Which location had the best Wi-Fi this trip? This is my experience. Over 3 nights at Bally's, I had better Wi-Fi than I had the one night at Bellagio. That could have been totally my experience only, but for 3 nights, my uploading my videos to YouTube requires a lot of Wi-Fi. And I would say, based on my experience, it was average. Probably 30-minute average to buffer and do all the stuff it has to do. At Bellagio, the one day I uploaded only one video from there, only stayed there one night, but it took an hour and a half at Bellagio. Similar, 30-minute video. So I'm gonna have to give Bally's the 10 there, and Bellagio, 30 minutes to an hour and a half, that's a pretty big difference. I'm gonna have to drop them down to like a 8, because it did work, and I never had to log on, log off, log on. I've had that issue before where you gotta re-log on like 10 times. Never had that issue at either property. The room, now this is based on my experiences. Both are the standard room at each resort, but Bellagio is an upscale resort over Bally's. So I'm not gonna compare the Bally's room on that. But I will have to say that the Bally's room had my refrigerator that did not work. Both of them were clean. Both of them were adequate. Obviously the Bellagio was much more adequate. The bathroom was far superior than the Bally's bathroom. Bellagio had an awesome shower, great water pressure, just a great overall room. So obviously I'm gonna give Bellagio a 9 here. And then on Bally's, I'm gonna have to give them like a 7. Only because I would have given like an 8, but if you provide a room with the refrigerator that doesn't work, you should get a point knocked off. All right, let's keep going. So when you're in Vegas, you want to stay at a hotel casino with an awesome vibe. That's why you're on vacation. You want to have a good time, and you want it to be an awesome experience, right? So this is where my worst grade is going to come, and it's not at Bellagio, let me tell you that. Great vibe at Bellagio. But Bally's, I'm going to give Bally's a 1. And let me explain to you why. Upon check-in, I was rather upset. I didn't let it come across in my videos, and I didn't talk about it on the videos. But now that I'm back here, let me tell you something. Bally's was just trashy. It appeared there were too many people there for their staff or something, but the casino was trashy. Everywhere around was trashy. The trash cans along the hallway, they were overflowing. The elevators, you had to step on trash inside the elevators. It's like they hadn't cleaned the elevators out in years. I was just blown away how trashy things were. Empty beer bottles, empty glasses of champagne, glasses of wine, just littered all across the property. I don't know if it's because Bally's name had been sold or what. I don't know what the reason was, but it was just filthy, which caused me to spend basically no time in the casino or at the hotel other than to sleep there. So Bally's, you get a 1 just because you're in Vegas, so that has a little point value all in of itself. Bellagio's vibe, totally opposite. Didn't want to leave, I was rushing to get to my flight because I didn't want to leave Bellagio. So I'm going to give Bellagio's vibe a 10 because that's Vegas, right? You got the fountain show outside. You've got the beautiful, interior of the casino. You can't beat it. Drink service. Overall, this whole trip was poor drink service, but drink service is hit or miss. I didn't stick around Bally's to find out their drink service. I did not get a drink in Bally's from a cocktail waitress I didn't buy anything there. But I'm gonna have to, since I didn't spend any time there, I'll give them like, I don't know, 4 points or something like that, because at any hotel you're gonna get a beer if you just lounge around long enough. At Bellagio, I didn't get very good drink service, but I did get some drinks. It was busy out there. A lot of people were going out there after things are opening back up. But I'm gonna have to give Bellagio like a 7. I've had much better drink service at Bellagio at other times, and I've had much better at other casinos. So I'll give them a 7. Let's keep going. Now, when it comes to Vegas, casinos and food are two pretty important things on people's radars out there. A matter of fact, my most recent video has been my most successful video. I just kind of threw that together, summarizing all the places I stayed at, and it has over like 800 views now, which to me is insane because I've never gotten one over 100, I don't think. So I'm gonna have to focus more on food on my future trips. But let's speak about casinos first. Uh, Again, Bellagio is a totally different resort than Bally's. I get that. But Bellagio's casino, you get a 10. I mean, everything is relatively, close. It's not a huge sprawling casino like an MGM or Caesars. You can get lost. It's easy to navigate. I only spent one day there, but I almost learned the whole place real quick. Uh, so I really like their casino. Bally's Casino, like I said earlier on the vibe piece, sorry, that was just atrocious. Never seen nothing like it before. Uh, at the end of this video, I will basically give you my overall thoughts of Bally's, but let's just suffice to say, casino, I'll give you a 1 point because you got slot machines and tables. So you can't really sit at them because they got so much trash at them, but they got them. Food options. All right, I'll come back around on you a little here, Bally's. Food options, key phrase options. Bally's has more options than Bellagio. Uh, Bellagio is more fine dining, fewer, medium to low end range options. So Bally's is obviously closer to, they have their food court. They are close to the Link Promenade. They are attached to Paris. So they got a lot of food options, a wide variety of options. So Bally's, I'm gonna give you an 8 on that because there are places with better options like Planet Hollywood. I really like Cosmo, has a lot of options as well. Now Bellagio, I'm gonna have to knock you down on this because I think all resorts need multiple options, not just high end. So I'm going to give Bellagio probably a 6 because essentially, if you don't have the budget for an expensive meal, there's no options for you at Bellagio. So there you go. 6 Bellagio. Get you a food court of some kind. Let's talk features and checking in and checking out at these properties. How many points can they score? Well, Bellagio, as you would anticipate, they are going to take the cake on this one, right? I mean, they've got the fountain show. No one else got that. Every 30 minutes, you get a unique water feature, presentation that you can enjoy for free. They also have the conservatory. 4 times a year, they change it out with beautiful landscaping, all natural flowers, beautiful environment to spend some time in every day. Bellagio is just a beautiful resort, and they get 10 possible points on their features. Bally's, on the other hand, they don't have that, right? They are your average casino, average eateries. There's no standout features at Bellagio. At Bally's. They do have the bazaar shops, you got some cool little places to eat there, but in the summertime it's awful hot outside and it's not air conditioned. So Bally's, it's neat that it's on the west side of the strip or on the east side of the strip, but I don't know if it's a feature of the property in of itself. So Bally's, I'm just gonna have to give them a 5. Check in and check out. My experiences on this trip at both properties were the same. I had no issues checking in or out at either property. Uh, I did ask for upgrades at both properties. Both properties told me the same answer, that they were full or nothing was available. I checked in at Bally's on a Saturday night. I expected them to be full. Bellagio, I checked in on there on Wednesday. They said that they still didn't have any upgrades available, but everything went smooth. Everything went in order. I always talk to a person, in hopes to get an upgrade. Both of them were had good service, so I'll have to give both of them. Let's give them both an 8, only because neither one of them gave me a free upgrade. Finally, the last factor to make your trip a fun one: service. We all want good service, no matter where we go. And there's nothing prohibiting any company, any casino, any hotel from giving you good service, no matter if it's a high end or low end resort. Uh, Being kind, friendly, and courteous should be standard, right? And in my stay, I got good service from both properties. Uh, Bally's is the only one that I had something that I requested of them. Their refrigerator was not working in my room. That's one reason I like to stay at Caesar's Properties, is for that refrigerator. And I reported it when I checked in, and they never called me themselves for an update, give me a status update. They never fixed it. And I did call them one time the next day to ask for an update, and they said I'm on the list. So, that hurts their service. But overall, I got friendly service from the employees that I spoke with or encountered at both properties. Just in general, right? So Bellagio, really, I didn't request any specific service. So really, the best service is no service when you don't have an issue, right? So I'm gonna give Bellagio a 9, and Bally's, while they didn't fix the refrigerator. I'm not gonna knock them too hard for that, but I'm just gonna give them like a 6, because I did ask for some service. They did not give it to me, and they really didn't keep me updated unless I asked for an update. So Bellagio 9, Bally 6. After a lot of number crunching, the totals are in. Bellagio got 86 out of 100 points. Bally's got 60 out of 100. If anything is surprising, it is that Bally's failed. I'm a big fan of Caesar's Properties, and I'd never stayed at Bally's before. I always like to try to stay at each property once. So I was excited to go to Bally's, and they just let me down. So the cleanliness and the lack of vibe in the casino due to it really hurt their scores. I wouldn't say not to stay at other Caesar's properties, but I can definitely tell you that I will not be back at Bally's. Bellagio was a great one night, a great time, a great atmosphere, had a lot of fun. I'll definitely try to go back to Bellagio, but in the end, it was clear that Bellagio is far superior than Bally's. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something from it. Smash that like button, and I appreciate you being part of my channel. Bye.